Hey guys, Regular Joe CEO here. Happy to be joining you after a phenomenal weekend. It's actually Wednesday, but Monday was President's Day, so we were off work Monday. So I took advantage of a long weekend and had some fun. So what I want to talk to you about is work-life balance. So first off, I will tell you, I'm not going to pull any punches here. I hate the term work-life balance. I think it's a term that's used for people who want to cop out of actually working for a living in some cases, and they just throw up this work-life balance thing. And what it really means is I want to work less and have a life more. And so work-life balance to me is I have a pretty balanced life as long as I have work that's providing income. And so that means I stay focused on my work. It's always the way it's been with me, and any of my kids and wife will tell you that, and other employees that I've worked with, coworkers and peers will tell you that. Nothing wrong with take care of your family. That's kind of the requirement. But I think the topic's work-life balance because everybody likes that term. So, been going at it pretty hard. Raised a lot of money last year, pretty long go of it. Then we had the holidays. We had some other stuff going on at work. It was pretty difficult recently. And so I took off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I spent Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night in the woods in a spot where my cell phone didn't work. I spent Friday, Saturday, and until Sunday afternoon by myself. And my wife joined me on Sunday afternoon. She stayed the night Sunday night. I had some pretty cold temperatures. I think it was 29, 32, and 28 on 3 consecutive nights. So nice cold nights and a little bit of a testing of the body and the skills. And so for me, that was important to do what some of you guys need to do, and that's to just unplug from work. One of the challenges of being a leader in a digital age, or an employee for that matter, but I'm talking about leadership and entrepreneurship here, is if you really focus on your business, you really focus on your leadership, you really focus on your people, you're kind of plugged in all the time, okay? I remember back in the 90s when I got my first Motorola flip phone, and I'm kind of aging myself here, but we were living in a little town, working in a little town called Kemah, and living down around Houston area, Clear Lake area, and we had a new baby boy, and me and Neely's been married, a couple years, and I got a Motorola flip phone, and I'm gonna tell you something, guys, like it was the coolest thing I ever got. Okay, it was like I had made it in business, right? I was doing sales and management for a compression company, and so I was like, I had made it. I had this flip phone. I had American Express. I had everything. And one day I was sitting in a restaurant called Landry's. It still exists. Good little restaurant down there. And my Motorola flip phone rang. At least I thought it was mine. But everybody had a Motorola flip phone, and they all rang the same ringtone. This is before ringtone. So I looked around, and I saw everybody look at their phone just like I did. And right then, I knew something was wrong. I remember telling Neely, that's an electronic leash. I got an electronic leash, and I was so proud of that leash that I willingly put it on. Well, I've had a leash on for a lot of years, okay? A couple of decades. And working around drilling and production and workover and construction in the oil field, it never stops. It runs 365, 24/7. And I'm in the corporate office, I know. So you guys out there in the field, don't give me too much grief. But, I got to worry about this business whether I'm out there doing it or not, okay? And the phone does ring at night. And so for me, there just comes a points in my life, and they're not that often. I think for different people, it's different frequencies. But you just got to unplug and reset your brain, okay? So I sat out there for a good 48 hours without talking to another person for the most part. I did have some electronic access. If I would, different parts of the property, I would drive up to the top just to make sure things would be okay, and then I'd drive down the bottom of the property I was on, and the phone didn't work. And so I just, made a fire and cooked dinner and walked around and made a walking stick, walked around. And yeah, I got kind of bored. I wish I'd have brought a book, but for the most part, that was a good reset for me. I think work-life balance for other people means a lot of things, but I think you have to, if you're going to be a successful leader and entrepreneur, I mean, one of the measures for success, for me at least, is that when I turn around after all this journey and this work, is that my family's still there. So, there's other ways to be leaders, and that doesn't necessarily is your goal, but I'm assuming that's your goal. Is you want to look around, the people you love and care about are still there. And so as a leader, I need to unplug at certain frequencies for my own mental health, but I need to unplug at more frequencies than that for my family's health. Okay. So, just so you know, my wife's probably watching this. She's not the boss of me. She doesn't tell me what to do. I don't take orders from her, and I ain't about to start. Okay. And I mean that with all conviction. But even if she did, and she asked me to get off the phone, I probably would. But my point, that's a terribly delivered joke. But my point is, she'd like me to be unplugged more than I am, but also extremely understanding. So this kind of message is not only for the aspiring leader and entrepreneur, it's also for the family members supporting them, whether that's a husband or a wife, lots of stay-at-home husbands, lots of stay-at-home moms, lots of dual working families. Whatever you're doing, somebody's supporting you in the background, okay? You can't be successful. I couldn't be a CEO for 5 years without the support of my family, okay? Especially my wife. But they need you to unplug a little more, and you need to do that. It's an important thing. So this isn't just about, I told you, talked about blood and guts running a business. Sometimes the blood and guts are you're not going to have much of a business if you don't have a family, and you need to set that aside for a minute. Okay. So that's kind of what this segment's about. Short topic. I don't know what you guys think about that. I'm a little hard on the work-life balance tribes because I think they take advantage of it. I worked at one place one day. They had like this little couch area, and they had like an Xbox or a PS4, and these young engineers came in, and I was like, what are you guys doing? And it was like 2:00, and they were playing this video game in an open area. I mean, it was, I worked for one of the top 3 biggest oil companies in the world at the time. And they said, we're playing this game. I said, what's wrong with you, man? And of course, I wasn't at the same level I'm at now. I just had lost. I said, what's wrong with you? They said, well, we're managing our work-life balance. And I just thought, what's going on with this place, man? Maybe those kids got it right. Maybe they're lazy. I don't know. But I think that I didn't even begin to consider work-life balance until much later in life. So if you're getting that concept down sooner, good for you. If you're abusing it, quit. Your employer knows you're doing it, and they're going to have some type of event at work, and you're going to pay the price, okay? And you don't need to be doing that. You're shortchanging your own career and your own family. And by the way, you want to take care of your family, best way to do is be the best you can be at work too, okay? Because that provides more opportunity for them. That lets kids go to private schools, or that lets you pay the mortgage, whatever your, range is there. So that's really all I have to say about work-life balance, other than find a way to make it work. Find a way to make the frequency good for your family. Find a make the frequency good for your own personal mental health, and find the way to make the frequency good for the company you work for, because they're paying you. So it takes a combined effort of all involved. Anyways, I need to mention to follow us on our social media, which is Regular Joe CEO on Facebook, Regular Joe _CEO on Twitter, Regular Joe CEO on YouTube. I think I didn't mention that in the previous videos or something. I got in trouble from Jackie. Jackie's pretty hard on me. We've got Regular Joe CEO Instagram, and then regularjoeceo.com, which, there's not a website there, but I just feel obliged to say it, and hopefully it becomes a funny joke after a year or two. Maybe we'll get a website. So anyways, thanks for having me, and we'll see you next time.